Obviously, it's been a difficult time for everyone at the club. The departure of Liam Manning. Just talk us through from your perspective and the players' perspective how it's been.
Yeah, obviously it's been tough. It's a tough situation for any club to go through, and yeah, we've been here before. Obviously, we all know what happened a couple of years ago, and we put faith in the club and the staff and the recruitment team here to get the right man in, and they did. But I felt like they did, and obviously it hasn't worked out this year. But look, the mood has been obviously a bit low. It's low in anyways because of where we are, and we're really trying to change that and change that by winning games and getting points on the board, and we need to really start doing that. I think there's about 24 odd games left, so yeah, time is starting to creep up on us, so we really need to start changing things.
Just one more question about Liam. Obviously, one of the difficulties in a situation like this is when the man in charge leaves, and there's a man in charge that everyone likes, that everyone gets on with, that everyone's got a bit of respect for. That I suppose is a little more difficult than maybe losing a manager that's lost the dressing room.
Yeah, you've obviously I've never been in a dressing room where that's happened. Fortunate enough. Yeah, obviously you hear stories of like managers who haven't really got on well with players, and when they leave, it's kind of like a celebration type of thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't like that here. It was a shock. We knew it was possible because of, listen, we have to take our own responsibility as well because of the performances on the pitch and where we are on the table, and there's a sense of like that kind of let down to Liam, and yeah, like it was a shock, and there was no like celebration or anything like that. It was kind of like, right, we kind of need to, as ruthless as it sounds, we need to park this away and focus on Saturday. And it was Tuesday before that, the Bristol Rovers game, and we had to help skip Dino as much as we can for Tuesday, and we'll have to help him as much as we can for tomorrow as well.
Just talk us to us a little bit about Dean Lewington stepping in. I mean, he's a captain, he's a leader anyway, and everyone knows his status at the club. Um, does he change? Does he change who he is to kind of lead the side? Because it's a different dynamic, but there would be a certain amount of respect for him anyway. So, but does he change at all?
As I wouldn't like to be in the situation that he's in, because I would find it hard to change, and I don't think Skip has changed because at the end of the day, when the new manager does come in, Skip will be back in being a player. Um, so I wouldn't like to be in this situation because you don't want to say the wrong thing, you don't want to do the wrong thing. At the end of the day, he's got to have to leave somebody out of the team or leave somebody out of the squad, and they'll probably be thinking something different. So it's a sticky situation for him. But one thing I will say is he's definitely grabbed it. He's done everything he can. We had Dave Martin helping him out as much as he can as well, and obviously then it comes to like the responsible boys, the more senior boys in the dressing room to help him as much as he can as well. And to answer your question, I don't feel like he's changed. He's still Skip, but he's just literally just trying his best to do everything for the club and for us to get some points on the board while he's in charge.
He's made it very clear consistently to us whenever this has happened. I'm a player. I'm just helping out. So I guess that's the way forward. And talking of the way forward, what do you, as a player, as you talk about senior players, I would regard you as one of the senior players with regards to your performances and your demeanour around the club. What needs to change? What needs to happen going forward, in your opinion?
Look, at the end of the day, when we step onto the pitch, it's on us. That no matter who the manager comes in and says or does, they can't do much from the sideline apart from scream and shout if they want to. I think what needs to change now is we need to take responsibility of where we're at. We need everybody to really chip in. You know, I'm not saying that boys aren't. I'm not trying to imply that we haven't been doing things right around because we have been. But I think it's time for us to really figure out what needs to change. On the pitch, and obviously we need a new manager, which is it's clear to see that we do need a new manager, and we will get one, and we all trust in the club, the dressing room trust in the club to pick somebody who will suit our style of play and not panic and point somebody who's not going to suit us, because at the end of the day we don't have players to just lump it forward, and because we've done that once this season, and it was terrible against Bristol Rovers, and that was off. That wasn't even that to do with the manager. That was just the way we felt in the pitch, and it definitely didn't work. So I'll have to. That's what I think has to change, and ultimately I think it's in the dressing room. We need to kind of change this mentality of and start actually going out and starting games fast and being like we have been, the last few performances, apart from maybe some parts in Bristol Rovers game. Last time we played Portsmouth in the second half, we absolutely dominated them. So I think we need to keep that belief and start bringing that into more games from 90 minutes instead of just little spells.
And you talked about the performance against Portsmouth. Does that give everyone a bit of a boost going into the game at the weekend?
Yeah, there's nothing to fear. Obviously, we know the result wasn't great, and listen, it was two penalties that killed us at the end of the day and gave us a mountain to climb. But we don't have time to fear anybody. We know we need to go out and get some points. Everybody knows that it's in black and white. There's no hiding from it. We know we are in the league, and we know we need to get some points, and we have nothing to lose. All the pressure should be on Portsmouth. They're at the other end trying to get to playoffs even, and we're trying to obviously get out of where we are in the rut that we're in. So there's nothing to lose, and yeah, we should have confidence going into the game because I don't think many teams would have done what we done in Fratton Park against a strong side like we did a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I'm confident in the team that we should perform to our maximum levels and really go out and try and win the game.
And just finally, Warren, have you been given any indication when a new person will be put in place, or are you just getting on with it?
Yeah, I think that hit the nail on the head. I'm just getting on with it. Next game, every day is a new day. There's 3 points up for grabs tomorrow. Like I said, I have trust and faith in the club that they'll do everything in their power to get the right man in for the job, and every other player should be thinking the same way, and I'm pretty sure we are because at the end of the day, we need 3 points tomorrow, and nothing less. We need a result.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
No worries.
We've spoken a lot this season about the players taking responsibility and sometimes some home truths having to be read out in the dressing room after games. Was that a similar case on Monday? And was there like a feeling of guilt almost from the players from what happened over the weekend?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a feeling of guilt. Certainly, I couldn't help but feel it. That like the guilt and the letdown. You let somebody down type of feeling because it's never nice. And yeah, I presume some players are like that. Monday was kind of a weird day. We come in. There's obviously a lot of people missing, and you're trying to. Skip is doing his best to get the meeting going and get ready for a game. At the end of the day, we just had to move on and get ready for the Tuesday game, which, in fairness to Skip, he really did. He parked that to the side of what happened, and we don't have time to dwell on it. And yeah, that was really it. It was that feeling is just not nice, and I'm pretty sure. Well, I hope so. I hope I don't have it in the future either.
This is one of those things in football, isn't it? Managers do change fairly regularly up and down the pyramid. It's just something that you guys have to sort of bite the bullet on and quickly move on from.
Yeah, well, we're a young dressing room. Maybe some players probably haven't experienced this. And it's my first time experiencing it during the season. Like I said, but previous, we know what happened a couple of years ago, and yeah, it's a new experience for me. And look, there's younger players than me in the dressing room, and there's players in their first senior season, so this got to be a big shock. But it's obviously at the same time, it's an experience that they've got to go through eventually. So why not get it now when they're younger? And yeah, look, you can only go with it. You can only do your best to what the situation we're in now. And Skip is, like I said, Skip is doing everything he can to get us prepared for tomorrow, and he's doing a great job with it. Him and Dave Martin have done really well lately, and in fairness to the group are really trying to pull together to help him through this tough time. Or probably not a tough time, but there's other things going on in the world that are a bit tougher. But yeah, it's not an ideal situation for Skip.
And away from all this and actual onto football matters, you've been playing in part of a back four of recent, and playing alongside Jack Tucker. How do you think that's been getting on?
Yeah, well, firstly, Jack has been great since he came in. He had a spell out of the team, and he's really worked hard to get back into it. Credit to him for that. I love playing beside him. I love playing beside all the players that we have because I can trust them, and I know they'll work hard for me. They'll work hard for the team. Going on to the back four question, yeah, we functioned really well lately with the back four, and the two wingers now that we've been playing with have they've really given us a different type of attack and momentum. I think they're really starting to gain confidence in that. And yeah, look, I thought we looked really solid in the performances lately. Obviously the goals at Bristol were goals on us. You know, it was nothing to do with Bristol cutting us through or anything. It was just mistakes, and we need to cut that out. And we know that. We've been saying it for a few months now that we need to cut out the mistakes, and we're working on that, and we're still striving to be better.